Hello and welcome to the Industry Podcast. My name is Corey. I'm joined by my co-host Blake over there. The Industry Podcast is your source for industry interviews, insights, and inside stories. How you doing today, Blake?
I'm doing fantastic, thanks.
Over there on the other side, we kind of changed up the seating arrangement this week. And today our guest is Michael Cavazos.
Yeah, that's me, Michael Cavazos.
And Michael, we like to ask how people's weeks have been. So how was your week last week?
It was all right. It was just super stressful. I had this
That's not
one
good.
video that took forever. Then I had a few videos I had to do. It was pretty stressful week, actually.
Okay, so you do a lot of like post-production type stuff, and I don't know you terribly well, so this is my opportunity to ask you a whole bunch of questions, I guess, and just see how your week is going. So you had a pretty stressful week working on a couple of different videos.
Yeah.
So let's start off with so what do you do?
So I'm a video editor for Fleshlight. I'm a videographer and video editor for Fleshlight.
Okay.
I'm also a photographer. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do. That's pretty much my life. Video, cameras, that's what I do.
So you got good at editing and taking videos and things like that on the job, or did you get some practice in before that, or did you go to school for editing and things?
So yeah, well, before I worked at Fleshlight, I was a photographer and videographer on my own. Like, I did like little projects here and there. I did a lot of portrait photography. I did music videos.
Cool.
Then when I went to school, I didn't really learn much about video editing or videography that I didn't already know. But yeah, when I was in college, I went to school for mass communications. They taught basically like radio, television, and film editing at their school.
Okay.
And I did like one documentary. It was like a documentary about race, and I got pretty good at video editing.
Cool.
But mainly it was on my own right. But when I worked at Fleshlight, that's when my video editing skills just began to really grow, because I had to like actually do it for a living. You know,
Yeah.
if I didn't edit videos, I wouldn't get paid. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my background. But yeah, I've been doing this for like about 6 years now. So yeah.
That's awesome. 6 years.
Yeah.
I've been in the game for about 7 years.
Nice.
I learned about it in college a little bit. And Blake over here, what was your experience, Blake?
In college?
In video editing specifically.
I think overall.
Yeah.
Well, throughout college, I've actually done some, like I remember one project in college, it was called Tandem.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was where I learned all about color correcting and what was the other thing besides color correcting? Color...
Lumetri?
Color grading?
Yeah, color grading.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was one scene where we had to make it seem like the boyfriend showed up at his girlfriend's house at dark when it was still kind of light outside. And so we had to make it to where it was kind of like a blue, kind of like a dark blue, kind of, to where he was arriving there like at 8 o'clock at night, kind of at sunset. And as the lead editor of that, I managed to pull that off. But I'm also, and throughout the years, throughout college, I've also learned about fade in, fade out, and slide and swipe and
Sure.
The countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the beginning, and the bars and tone and stuff like that, and putting in the end credits. I mean, I've honestly learned a lot about editing them, and I'm still not a pro and genius like you, Corey, but I'm definitely getting there.
Thanks, man.
Nice. That's awesome, dude.
Thank you.
That's why Blake's my co-host. He thinks I'm a genius. And I need that. I need that kind of that awesomeness in my life.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure
who
you have a lot
surround
of
yourself
experience
with. Yeah.
editing.
No, but getting back to editing and things like that, and just getting that right out of the way off the top. Michael he is the only editor at Fleshlight, right?
Yeah, the only editor.
The one guy putting together videos there. And minus all that stuff, specifically, it's a job where you're expected to edit, you're expected to output good quality content
sure.
and things like that. You're expected. So what kind of cameras does Fleshlight have on the video wall ready for you to use?
They have I think a Canon Mark V.
Nice.
And they have a Red Epic, I believe. But I've never used them myself. I only used my camera, specifically the Sony a6600, is what we're recording on right now.
Yeah. Hello, big upgrade for us.
Yeah, I've used those cameras, but I want to try the Red one day because I've seen like the quality it gives. It puts out like 5K video, and the colors on it. I think the dynamic range on the Red Epic is very, very good because I've edited some of the footage, and the skin tones look very cinematic. Yeah, I mean they took the camera to Las Vegas with them last year, and the footage they got was so amazing and just very cinematic, and I just love working with it and editing some of the footage they got. So yeah, it's just a Red Epic and a Canon, and since I'm the video editor, they use my camera, the Sony A6600.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's interesting that they need to borrow the editor's camera. Then
Well, they don't need to borrow it, but it's just like for time and
Gotcha.
just setting up the Red would just take forever. Because the Red, obviously has like a lot of parts.
Yeah,
like,
you basically need a specialist to control
you need
it.
somebody who has experience with it already, and I have no experience with it. But I mean, the Red Epic is like they have an old camera basically, but
Sure.
it still shoots very, very good quality. I mean, even for 2021. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a huge difference. We could talk about that for a minute, like cinematic cameras or professional grade cameras or cinema grade cameras, however you want to call it. The Red is like the flagship of that for the digital era specifically.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that camera is very modular too. It could be an old body with a new sensor inside.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of the main reasons why it gets such a great picture, of course, the resolution, but it's also the sensor size. It's a true 35 millimeter size, unless you have the Super 35. I think is like can shoot in 70 millimeter, like authentic 70 millimeter, and so the pixel count is not condensed down to a smaller sensor. And so what happens is you get more detail in every single quadrant of the video frame, and that's what gives you that extra range. And specifically that's what gives you that edge in cinematic cameras. But for the camera we're shooting on, the Sony A6600 is considered a prosumer camera, which is the market for prosumer videographers and freelance videography really exploded in like the early 2010s. And specifically, the convenience of using a camera like this, it can shoot in 4K, really good resolution. The codec is great. It puts out beautiful images, and that's not an obscure thing to say. Everybody knows that Sony is killing it with the A7 in the mirrorless series.
Yeah, the A7S III is definitely the camera that everybody wants. The Sony FX3, the Sony FX6. I mean, I myself really want the A7S III because it's a small, compact camera, and it can shoot very good video. Because even though it only has like 12 megapixels, those pixels put out such good resolution that any videographer would be, very glad to have it. And Sony has a few log settings, such as the like S-Log 3 and S-Log 2. And what I really want to try is the new Cinetone log setting that it has to really get that cinematic colors. And so, after
get those cinematic skin tones.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're working with skin tones.
Yeah.
Almost exclusively.
Yeah, and once I make a little more money, I'm definitely going to grab the Sony A7S III or the Sony FX3. So, yeah. So, Sony is really putting out some great cameras now, and I just can't wait to try the new cameras that they have.
Yeah, one of the things that, first of all, it's a mirrorless camera, so it takes in light a lot easier, which means the ISO can be lower, which means you have to buy NDs just to shoot during the day. It's a good problem to have, and you can light up a room with the light from a match or something. It's really amazing. Yeah,
I myself use only prime lenses. That's just like how I like to shoot. I don't shoot with like zoom lenses. So the prime lenses that I have, they shoot at f1.4, and when I want to take full advantage of that aperture range, I always have to use an ND filter, especially when shooting outdoors, or else obviously the image would come out like super bright, and you don't want that. So yeah, I mean, ND filters are always good to have, but I use the Sigma Trio myself, which is the 16 millimeter, 30 millimeter, and 56 millimeter, and they all shoot f1.4. So that gives a very good, nice image when you're shooting outside and you have an ND filter, or when you're shooting at night. And so yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, NDs are one of my favorite new filters that I've used. I've taken some like you can get streaks, like light streaks from cars. So if you take a shot at night, or even at golden hour, if you throw it in, I got an ND10, I throw that on there, and you get these nice streaks, plus like the nice sunset colors and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I myself use like variable ND filters, so
those
like
are nice too.
You can just like turn them, and you don't have to like stack them. I just hate stacking filters on, but yeah, I mean, what I really want to try is those Blossom filters. I forgot what they're called. They're like Pro Mist filters. They add like a great sense of halation to your video, so it won't like look so like digital, but it'll look more like like
just like this nice film.
Yeah, it'll give you like a nice bloom effect on your highlights in the video.
Yeah, I worked with Blake and I worked on this short film, Jim Gavea's Routine, and the DP was really, really talented. JD Macias, shout out to JD Macias. He was shooting on a BMP 6K Mini Ursa. He was incredibly talented on set doing his thing, and he had a Pro Mist filter in his little matte box, and yeah, it's just like it's a filter that is used in professional settings, and they make the big square filters. You don't have to screw them on. They slide into a matte box, and
you just put them in, right? Yeah,
you could realistically do that for yours, but there'd be really no point. Just increase setup time and all that.
Yeah, I'd probably put a lot of setup time, especially because I use my gimbal, and that would like make the balancing a lot harder. Because even in putting an ND filter on my lens kind of like messes up the balance on my gimbal.
Sure.
So it probably wouldn't be a good thing to do. But yeah, I mean, definitely like once I maybe buy like a big cinema camera like the FX6 one day, that's definitely something to think about.
Awesome. So you have some goals for upgrading your camera already.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's one thing with a videographer. Obviously, and one of my other questions is, which has already been answered, is your preferred like position in the production world, and that's obviously camera.
Yeah, definitely.
We're all camera guys here. Blake's cam up. You have your camera, of course, and I focus on photography.
Nice. I definitely want to be a director or a cinematographer or be the video editor. That's my preferred roles, and that's probably what I'd be the best at.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, it definitely it starts to part from video editing once you get into the professional filmmaking world, because post-production, it can take place in another country, another state.
Yeah, definitely.
It could be in a whole nother place, and you kind of have to commit hours to one or the other. But it definitely helps to have somebody behind the camera that has an editor's eye and can shoot for that.
Oh yeah, I definitely have a video editor's eye now that I've worked at Fleshlight for almost 1.5 years now, and I've also done a lot of like video editing on my own. And I mean, I definitely have a video editor's eye in mind whenever I shoot now.
Okay, yeah. So you look at video editors and kind of look up to them and research how they do their thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Not like. Well, yeah, sometimes. But I've like kind of developed my own style of video editing. I know a lot about video editing now, and there are some video editors that I'm kind of looking into because I would like to eventually like edit those big Hollywood movies, and those like long 2-hour videos that require like probably, I'm not sure how long it would take to actually edit a full Hollywood movie, but yeah, I'm studying like more Hollywood jobs, and like I'm studying how like actual video editors who are in Hollywood are doing their thing. And that's my answer about that. Yeah.
Okay. American Cinema Editors Association. Have you heard of that?
No, I've never heard about it.
If you watch a movie and look at the credits, you'll more often than not see the editor and then in parentheses ACE. It's their basically their guild, like the Writers Guild or the Screen Actors Guild. The American Cinema Editors Association is the same thing.
Oh wow, I had no idea there was a guild for that.
And there's a pipeline to get into it. I've looked into it, and it's something like 5 years of TV editing. So getting into editing TV, which also counts for news. So if you go work at the news station and edit newsreels for 5 years, you have a big chance of getting into the Cinema Editors Association.
Never work in.
You're not a news guy.
Yeah, I would never work in a news guy. I would never work at a news network because I had an internship for KXAN at one point, and I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was that bad,
It
huh?
was that bad. It just wasn't for me. Like, they would come in the morning, early in the morning. We would set up for like the early news show, and that was all right. But then like the rest of the day was just paperwork and just like being in a desk and just sitting down all day and just looking at a spreadsheet and just typing things in. And yeah, it didn't work out for me that well. And
Gotcha.
the cameras that the news station had were so old and just so like,
Really?
yeah, they were just like cameras for like the early 2000s. They had like basic like settings like auto white balance, ISO, shutter speed, but they were just like so big and clunky. They just were just for like news, and yeah, and they just didn't excite me at all. Using those cameras did not excite me at all, and my boss was just I'm not gonna say anything bad about her, but she was just very antisocial. I just didn't like the environment, and I just would never work in a news station ever.
So based on your first experience in a specific newsroom, you kind of apply that to all news.
No, but I mean, I know I shouldn't probably generalize, but that was my experience working at KXAN, so I guess I kind of have that idea.
Shout out KXAN.
Yeah, shout out KXAN.
Cameras.
I mean, 512 Studios. I mean, it was fun sometimes, but working in the news probably isn't for me. I mean, I like working in like film and cinema things, like actually like working like in creative things, and I just didn't feel like I could be too creative at a news station.
Absolutely. And working in a field where you apply yourself, there's few and far between fields, and especially in the art world, where you can truly apply yourself and put 110% into what you're doing, and that's specifically film and filmmaking. So my question is, my next question is, have you looked into making your own short films, like live action short films, or what kind of medium are you looking into?
Yeah, I've kind of like haven't been making any short films. I've kind of just like been doing things that have only like been for pay. So I've only done like music videos, weddings,
which is a smart choice to do things for pay.
Yeah, but now that I'm more comfortable where I'm at, Fleshlight actually just gave me a raise this past Friday, and so I'm kind of like getting more comfortable. I'm not like struggling videographer anymore or struggling photographer anymore. I can kind of like choose the projects I want to work on.
Sure.
And so I've actually been turning down like weddings. I've told people who want to hire me to do their wedding videos that I'm not doing them anymore. I just don't find them fun. I'm not very passionate about doing wedding videos.
Sure.
So this year, this whole year, I've been like kind of focused on doing like more passion projects. And so that includes filmmaking. And so I am going to start doing my own short films. I did one short film 6 years ago when I first started. It was called Julia. It was about a guy who's struggling with the death of his girlfriend. And it was all right. It was shot on a T5i. And so it didn't have like the highest quality, but for what it was, I think it's okay. But yeah, this guy, Francois de la Rosa, he hired me to do his short film. So I'm going to shoot it, I'm going to direct it, and I'm going to edit it. And so I'm excited to do that. And then after that, who knows? I'm probably going to do my own short films. I'm going to find like things that I'm passionate about. Right now, I've only been shooting things that I'm passionate about. If I don't find it fun, easy, or if I don't find it lucrative, I probably won't do it. Like for example, me and my friend, we were doing YouTube reviews for clothing, for like fashion. And I've been doing that for like, I wasn't doing the video side of it, but I was doing the photography, and I was also doing the video side of it recently. But one day I just woke up and I realized I wasn't very passionate about it, and it wasn't very lucrative, and it wasn't very easy. So I told the guy that I couldn't do it anymore, and he understood. So yeah, I mean, I'm only doing things that I'm passionate about, and it has to be fun, it has to be lucrative, and it has to be easy for me to even be interested in it. So yeah.
That's a good place to be, and it helps when you have a consistent, stable, lifestyle and job to be able to reach that sort of mentality.
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely helps with that. But Yeah, as far as like getting a gig that's stable, that's in something you're passionate about. So you're passionate about editing, shooting camera and things like that.
Passionate about video editing, passionate about shooting with my camera. I mean, anytime I can use my camera to make a little money, that's always a good day. Especially when it's something you're passionate about. Yeah.
Of course. And so are you part of any like specific camp? Are you only Sony? Are you only Canon?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what camera I use, but cool. I mainly like to use Sony.
I agree.
Sony has been my preferred camera ever since it wasn't like when I started out, I was using a T5i, but you have a T5i. You've seen it. Like it's big, it's clunky. You can't shoot 4K.
How dare you?
You can't. It has a lot of limitations. Is what I'm trying to say. And with the Sony, when I started using Sony, I started using the Sony a6300, and that thing had like really good autofocus. It had like a million different color profiles you could use, and it shot in 4K. And it had a lot of limitations, like it would overheat when you use 4K. And it wasn't really good on color because it still has 8-bit color.
Gotcha.
But I mean, Sony's been my camera of choice, and I really enjoy using Sony. I'm very comfortable with shooting it. I mean, if I got a new Sony camera, I could easily like change the settings so it could fit my style of shooting. And so I mean, I'm probably stay with Sony forever unless the only other system I'll probably look into is Blackmagic. Sure. Because they have really good colors, and that dynamic range is really good. It feels like a true cinema camera when you use it.
Second to none. Especially the Pocket Cinema.
Yeah,
for a point and
either
shoot
Blackmagic or Red or one of the other big cinema cameras like the Ari or Alexa or whatever like those big high end cameras are.
Sure. Yeah. Blake, do you have any questions for our guest here?
Yes, I do.
All right.
So, do you have a favorite movie genre?
Yeah, I like dramas. I like dramas and actions. I'm not really into comedy. Dramas, actions, horror. Probably drama is my favorite. Action would be my second. Horror would be my third. And comedy would be my least favorite.
Just least favorite.
Another question I have is that, what's been the most favorite camera that you've ever used?
Probably the Sony a6600.
Yeah, the
which
one
is the camera that I'm using
yeah.
right now. It's probably been my favorite. It's probably my favorite right now.
Cool. And one more thing I have is that what's your most favorite thing you've ever filmed or taken video of?
So I did this long project last year during the summer of 2020. I was working from home, so I had a lot of free time on my hands. And so I would go to Lockhart, which is a small town south of Austin. And I only live like 15 minutes away from Lockhart. So every morning I would try to wake up and catch the sunrise with my drone. Mm-hmm. And so I would spend like an hour or two trying to get like some sunrise footage of Lockhart. Mm-hmm. And also come back during the evenings and get sunset footage. And so I made like a whole like little town reel of Lockhart, which took me a long time to do, but it came out really, really good. And the people of Lockhart really liked it, and they kept sharing it over and over and over again. So that's probably my favorite thing I've ever filmed.
Nice.
Yeah. Anytime I can film with like my drone and get some great footage, that's always a good time. So yeah.
Yeah, drone operating is probably something I'm going to get into next.
Yeah, for sure.
Because just the level of operation you have, as far as it's not just pan and tilt anymore. It's you're working in a 3D space, and you have to work on an X, Y, Z sort of space as well.
For sure. You can get some crazy, amazing footage with your drone if you know what you're doing and if you're getting like an interesting subject.
Absolutely. So you had a ton of practice just kind of filming this empty city, and that's a testament to how awesome drone, how new it is, and how awesome it is to still do.
Yeah,
is that you just take like an empty place and make it awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I had like a lot of space to run around in Lockhart. There was like
And nobody
Yeah,
probably
there's
cared.
no.
You never got stopped by a cop? or
No,
anything?
never.
Cool.
Because the drone I was using, it was like so lightweight that you didn't have to register it at all.
Sure.
But now that I have my DJI Mavic Air 2, I had to register it, which is only like $5. But you also have to like be under certain restrictions if you're living close to an airport.
Sure.
So I haven't really used the new drone that I have in Lockhart yet. I've used it in Austin a couple of times.
Cool.
I've been so busy that I haven't really been able to like fly my drone as much as I want to. But yeah, I mean, the new drone is really good. It has like great resolution. I could even use it maybe as a second camera if I wanted to because the resolution is so good. The DJI Mavic Air 2S has 10-bit recording. So the colors on that would be really, really good. But yeah, I mean, I love drones. I love using my drone. Anytime I can get some good drone footage, I mean, it really excites me. So yeah.
So yeah, go.
I actually do have one more question.
Yeah.
So I know it may be kind of risky and all, but would you ever consider taking video or filming a lunar or a solar eclipse?
Yeah, I just don't know how, and I don't know like what project I would use it for.
No, I just thought it'd be kind of scientific, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess. I mean, I guess you could like film an eclipse for like maybe a science fiction film, or like for like like you said, like a scientific channel like PBS or Discovery Channel. Yeah, I just don't know how I would be able to do that though.
Oh, and it was only a thought.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I could use like a time sequence because a time lapse is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
Yeah, my camera can shoot time lapses, so yeah, I mean, I could do something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you want to use your camera for everything, and you really like 10-bit recording and the things that your camera can do.
But this camera cannot shoot 10-bit recording as of now.
Right.
So that's why I want the Sony A7S III because it does shoot 10-bit recording. But if I pair this camera with like an Atomos Ninja 5, then it could record in 10-bit.
That's right. Yeah, I have a friend of mine, Jaime. Shout out to Jaime, Lensberg Media. He has an S3 and he uses the Atomos Ninja on it, and he gets the 4K RAW.
Yeah. So if he's using a Sony A7S III and if he's using the Atomos Ninja 5, he's getting 16-bit RAW recording instead of just 10-bit.
And he shoots in RAW.
So he's basically getting a little cinema camera.
Yeah, it's incredible. I've worked with him on a music video specifically and seen how he shoots with it. And one of the interesting things with that camera is you have to shoot overexposed and then draw down in post. Yeah. And the colors come in amazingly.
Yeah, whenever you shoot an S-Log 2, you have to overexpose. Like your ISO automatically jumps up to 500. And you do have to, on my camera, you have to overexpose by 2 stops.
Okay.
So you have to use an ND filter and you have to be like very careful on how you shoot. Otherwise, your camera could, like, not the camera, but like the footage you get could like kind of break down in post.
Sure.
Like if you like add too much saturation, it might come out really grainy. But if you expose it just right, you can get some very, very good colors even on this camera.
Yeah, we had some fun experiments in post just looking at it, and we with our project we did some VFX. So we actually had to establish a pipeline where we took this 4K raw ProRes footage from off the camera, did some VFX to it, and then re-exported it. And in the Adobe Creative Suite, you can actually do that. You can export in 4K ProRes RAW, and he has the computer and the whole system. So a system like that requires like an entire pipeline, including a monitor to actually view that high of a range. Yeah, so definitely. What does your pipeline look for editing your footage?
Like, do you mean how I do it, or?
Yeah, I mean, like from camera to wherever it gets published. What's your
what's my workflow?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, like I get my camera and I check my settings. Now I'm very particular about my settings because I know how to use my camera.
Cool.
When I was first starting, I didn't know how like all these settings. When I first got my T5i, I didn't know how to shoot video that well. Like I'd always like switch between 24 and 30 frames a second.
Oh no.
So some of my footage would look like a soap opera, but then some of it would look like, it came out it would look like a movie when you shot in 24 frames a second.
Mm-hmm.
But I did this one like little web series, and I shot in 30 frames a second, and so I really didn't like how it looked at all. But now I'm very particular about how I shoot. I always shoot in 4K, 24 frames a second. I always check my color profile settings to make sure I'm getting good colors. Sometimes I'll shoot in S-Log 2, just to me, like, if it's a good day and the weather's consistent, I'll shoot in S-Log 2. And I always carry around a gray card or a white card to make sure I get the best auto white balance. So in post, I can add the best colors. And then I shoot whatever I'm shooting. Sometimes I'll shoot in slow motion depending on what I'm shooting. Like if it's an action sequence, I'll shoot in slow motion. It just depends on like what I'm shooting.
Cool.
And then I'll get the footage. I'll upload it to Premiere Pro, and I'll export it. And I always like shoot in 4K, but I always downscale it to 1080.
Okay.
To make it look
so
sharp.
you do a little bit of compression and
compression and color grading, editing. All in Premiere Pro.
That's actually a technique for visual effects application. Is you want to shoot in a very high quality, but then you can you want to downscale to a lower quality because the visual effect you apply or the painting that you apply into the higher res footage will actually look more realistic in a 1080 or however many sizes it goes down. I'm sure there's like a formula to it or like a ratio of how many sizes you want to step down. But I know for a fact that like VFX shots in the cinema world are shot at a ridiculously high resolution,
like
and
an
then
8K
stop
or something.
down.
I can
as high as it
imagine,
could possibly go.
Yeah, because I hear like if you shoot in 4K, you have more flexibility to do like things that you wouldn't normally be able to do with just like 1080 footage.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I always shoot in 4K, but one of the reasons why I shoot in 4K is because you're able to like punch in and punch out, and it just looks, to me, it just looks really, really clean. Like whenever I shoot in like 1080, you can look good, but sometimes when you have to like punch in on something, far away, it doesn't look that good. So that's why I shoot in 4K.
Grainy. Yeah.
So I just more flexibility in post, and I just when I edit, I always just like kind of punch in and punch out, or I zoom in or add an effect. And so I think it's important for me to shoot in 4K.
Awesome. Blake, do you have anything else to ask Michael here?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
He's done with you.
I've run out of things to ask.
Okay. Well, how about I just ask you guys, what is y'all's favorite movie?
I'm gonna have to go with I really like this came out in 2020, like just before the pandemic, but I like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. It was pretty good. I'm not really like a big fan of video games, but Sonic was definitely fun when I was a little kid to play, and I also watched like the TV show. So watching Sonic being all over the place, like he was on basically cocaine, was pretty fun to watch. Yeah, like a live action version with Jim Carrey. Yeah.
And I also really like I don't know if you've seen this, but it's based off of Pokemon. But have you seen Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, I've seen it. It was pretty good with Ryan Reynolds. That was pretty good.
Are you a Ryan Reynolds fan?
Yeah, I love Ryan Reynolds. He's pretty funny. When he was cast for Deadpool, I thought it was perfect because who else could play like an annoying smartass other than Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
One of my favorite Ryan Reynolds movies is Blade Trinity. He was also in Waiting. I really like that movie too. And Ryan Reynolds has been in a lot of things. Like he's pretty funny. Like a lot of people don't give him credit, I don't think, for being maybe like good as an actor.
Sure.
Because he's like so funny and so comedic. But I really like his acting. I really like how he's able to make fun of himself. Like when he made fun of himself for playing Green Lantern.
Like over and over again.
Yeah, and
he really took the lead on that joke.
Yeah, but Blade Trinity, he made a lot of funny jokes. Like he was just so funny and so offensive, and I just love the way he acts. He's so sarcastic, and now that he's in Marvel and superhero movies, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, big fan of that guy.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you want to hear about my favorite not music videos, I'm really getting into music videos. I've been watching a ton of them.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing because music videos, they're actually like becoming way more cinematic. Like today, I was watching The Weeknd. I forgot what the name of the song was called. I think it's called "Keep Your Tears for Tomorrow" or "Keep Your Tears for Later," something like that. But the music video was very, very cool. Like he had this like interesting makeup on, and it made his like face look like it was done with like some visual effects, or like he got plastic surgery on it, and it was really, really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of music videos out there where a ton of effort has been put into it. There's this artist named Amanda Palmer, and she makes some really theatrically inspired music videos where she takes the stereotypical like white room and does a performance there, but she also like tells this like narrative story around it, and it's called Not the Killing Type. It's a really good music video. It's one of my favorites. And besides that, like I've seen a bunch that or not a bunch, but a couple that have been all one shot or like a long shot, and then there's just constant things happening, like somebody walking through a house and there's people dancing, and then the background of the scene like changes like crazy. So I'd probably shot in the studio as well, but I just love the how much is happening. It's just like chaos on screen, and music videos are just like everything I'm interested in right now.
Yeah, so is that your favorite music video? What's the song called by Amanda Palmer?
It's called Not the Killing Type.
Not the Killing Type. Okay, I'll have to look it up.
It's really good.
Yeah, definitely. Lana Del Rey, she makes she has some very cinematic music videos.
Okay.
I think my favorite music video of hers is Gods and Monsters, where she plays a stripper, and she's not playing a stripper, but the music video is about a stripper who lives with her cholo boyfriend in East LA, I guess. So it's a pretty cool video. And another music video that I really, really like is Fall Out Boy, A Little Less 16 Candles, A Little More Touch Me, where they play like vampire hunters.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I mean, music videos are definitely getting very cinematic, and I think nowadays, whenever you look at a music video, you don't just look at it you don't just want to watch it for the music, but you also want to see like the visual effects, because they add so many visual effects now. I mean, if you look at a reggaeton video with someone like the artist, you can see like a lot of crazy visual effects.
Yeah.
So music videos are definitely getting more cinematic as well.
They shoot like there's this rock band that's shot in like 4K anamorphic, and it's incredibly wide. It's got the widescreen bars and everything like that, and it just automatically looked different because they were shooting in like the highest quality they could possibly find.
I mean, music videos are definitely another space that somebody can show off their creative work.
Exactly.
Their creative cinematic work, definitely.
Specifically for movies, one of my favorites, and has been my favorite for a long time, is 2004's what's his name? He made like Pan's Labyrinth and things like that. It's the movie called The Machinist.
Oh, The Machinist with Adrian Brody.
Yeah, and
wait. Is
Christian
it Adrian
Bale.
Brody? No, it's Christian Bale. Yeah. I always get them mixed up because Christian Bale played The Machinist, but then Adrian Brody played. Wait, it's not Adrian Brody, is it? I forgot his name, but Adrian something played the pianist, and they both lost a lot of weight for the role. But yeah, Christian Bale, he played The Machinist, and he lost a lot of weight, and it was a creepy movie, and but it was cool. Yeah, I like The Machinist.
It was an incredible psychological horror flick, aged well. I went back and watched it, and it's still awesome. There's still plenty of like suspense that I get from it, and I just love that film.
Yeah, I think my favorite movie. I'm not sure if it's 100% my favorite movie, but one of my favorite movies of all time is Drive with Ryan Gosling.
Nice.
The way it was shot was really, really, really good. The cinematography, the music, the driving scenes, they were really good. I mean, I liked Drive a lot. When I first saw it, I was very mesmerized by it. I think now that I watch it now, from like a filmmaker's point of view, it's even like better. Like certain details they add, like the cinematography is just beautiful, and the lighting and just like the colors is just amazing.
Yeah, like how the actors were placed, and like how much effort they applied to just the placement of an actor in a frame.
Yeah,
it's really incredible.
It's funny that Ryan Gosling didn't even like speak too many lines in the movie, but it was still a good movie. And I read the book that it was based on, and the movie is just way better. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not one to read a lot of like movie books or like
No,
go back
yeah.
and read the book after
Yeah.
the movie comes out or anything.
Yeah,
like
whenever
that.
I see that a movie,
I always want to. I'm like,
Yeah,
the book is probably better, but I
yeah,
don't
you
care.
should definitely. Like whenever I hear that a movie has been based on a book, I always go back and read it.
Nice.
For example, I heard that The Godfather was based on a book, and so I had to read The Godfather. And The Godfather, the book, was really, really good. Had a lot of
Cool.
details that the movie missed out on.
What's that, Blake?
Oh, nothing. I was just whispering.
We got in our headphones and like full.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
it's cool.
I do a lot of sound running on set.
Okay.
So this is a very comfortable sort of setting for me, specifically not with the mic in my mouth, but like headphones on and like hearing like literally everything in the room.
Nice. What kind
It's
of microphones are these? Are these condensers or dynamic?
These are condenser mics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're like wanting. So you're like wanting to write songs.
Who's that?
You said you.
Oh, not me.
No, I'm
No,
ignoring.
shooting music videos.
Oh.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
you-
do have some music. I do make music in my spare time. I don't really do much to promote it, but I got into like making music and stuff like that.
Like, do you like use the guitar like Kurt Cobain or something? And
You'd think so with my
Yeah.
long hair, but no. I use like basically just play keyboard or program music, because there's so many DAWs out now where the samples are so good. You can basically just make your own music.
yeah, definitely.
You get like an orchestra plug-in and build a symphony from scratch.
I've never made my own music, but I mean, I do like listening to like cinematic music when I'm video editing.
Yeah,
And
like
that really helps
soundtracks.
out. Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of carries along the footage. I've shot and edited 2 of my friends' music videos, and those came out pretty good. And I really liked his music, so I think that helped with the editing. So,
Cool. Yeah, as far as like editing music videos and just like shooting music videos, the sound aspect isn't needed, like the syncing and the mixing of audio. Like the song is already mixed.
Yeah,
and
the song's
you can just,
already
it's
mixed.
basically a playground visually.
yeah, you just play the song in the background, let the singer lip sync to it if he wants to.
Yeah.
And then when you're in post, you just synchronize, and it's really easy. So, yeah. Music videos are so easy to do now. They're really fun. I mean, whenever my friend, he has like a punk pop band.
Mm-hmm.
He calls himself Outlet Odyssey now. Whenever they like hire
Abbott
me,
Odyssey?
no, Outlet Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it
whenever
was like
they-
a punk rock band about Governor Abbott.
Oh no, that would be interesting. But no, he just calls himself.
Missed opportunity there.
Yeah. Whenever they hire me to do a music video, I always have a good time because it's like pretty easy to like edit and post. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's all the questions I have. Do you have any more questions for us?
No, sorry, I can't really think of any. But yeah, this has been awesome. It's been a fun little podcast we did. I'm very glad that you guys let me be on your show.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's awesome to chat with you
We're
and
definitely honored.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks. That's really great to hear.
yeah, it's been great to chat with you. It sounds like somebody's ending your show already. we got knocks at the door. We're a popular podcast now. But
Nice.
well, thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for being on the show and
Yeah, for sure.
letting us get to know you a little bit more. And more power to you to get the camera, the next camera you want, and the next project you want. And
Yeah, definitely. The Sony A7S III is gonna be my next camera, and I have a short film that I'm gonna shoot and direct.
And who's the director?
And,
Who's the guy that wants you to do that?
Francois De La Rosa. He's a pretty cool guy. I've only met him
Sounds
once.
like a master director's name.
Yeah, he does actually. He saw one of my films. He saw one of my videos on the Austin Filmmakers page, and just by
jumped on it?
just by seeing that alone, he's like, yeah, I want to hire you to shoot it, direct it, and edit it. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how that's gonna happen, and yeah, I'm very excited to work with him because one of the actresses is one of my friends. So yeah.
do you know
it's gonna be
do you know what the film is called right now?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
I think he's like kind of under secrecy. I think he's
Okay.
like making it like. I think he doesn't want too many details to be known about it until like he's
Sure.
ready to like release everything. But yeah, we're gonna meet with him this weekend, and I'm pretty excited.
All right, that's exciting. We're getting the inside scoop before it's even made.
Yeah.
Before it even has a name. Michael Cavazos will be working on a film with his name.
Francois De La Rosa.
That guy. And look for that. It's coming probably in the next year or so.
Yeah, it should be like shot pretty soon. It's only gonna be a 4-day shoot, but yeah, then the rest is gonna be editing.
It's super exciting. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye now.
Bye.
Later. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it.
I guess I can go see who's